a shunting puzzle. That is what we've got to achieve, and this time we're going to be using a little Ruston. The aim has to be to get those wagons in that list in the correct order against the shed, and the first wagon we've got to get in is the grey van there. So with each siding having a maximum of 3 wagons, 5 go in by the shed, and the head shunt takes 4. So let's start moving forward and seeing what we can do. Because the grey van is the first one in, I have to have access to it, and the best way to get access is to have that right on the end of a line of wagons. If you've got that still tucked up in the siding, I'm afraid that you won't get at it. So we're going to move wagon F into the forward of these sidings, and we'll then put B in against that, and then we will have B readily available for access. Kadees are great while they're working. Let's hope that these keep working perfectly. That'll be asking rather a lot, but they can. The reason why these little Locos come with a match truck that have pickups is because you'd never be able to run this little Loco comfortably over your insulated frog points. Right, we're off the magnet, we can come back, and we now pick up the wagon. Ease my backside down a bit. So the movement so far was just simply getting this van to where I can pick it up easily. There'd be nothing else in the way. So we can dump that there, we hope. As you can see, the grey van hung up slightly, but once attached to the other wagons, the drag was sufficient to make the Kadee work. They can stick occasionally, and temperatures and humidities, you might not think they make much of a difference, but they can. So we will change this point. Now at 76 grams, this little locomotive does have limitations on what it can pull. With these Kadee wagons having axle brakes, they don't roll freely, so they can create a considerable amount of drag. Now we push off the magnet, and we've now coupled up. Get it back a bit. I'm going to break it between the wire and the empty. Here we come. Because with this manoeuvre I shall have the G van as the third van, or the third wagon, in the middle siding. That means it's accessible to me. So we're lucky in as much as the second van I want in is right on the end of those against the platform, so we'll automatically and easily get two wagons in on the one shuffle. Yeah, I could probably have a go at winding the throttle up a little bit, but I'll then get in a mess and screw up trying to video at the same time as change points and so on. Right. We will now have initially these three wagons as what I would call runners. They're just attached to the Loco, you've got nowhere else to put them, so you have to carry them with you. Now, as I said earlier on, but easily missed, this head shunt will take just 4 wagons. The little Ruston has 3 attached, which means that I can just pick up one more wagon for it to fit into there to clear that point. So here we come. We're now coming back and we're going to pick up wagon B, which is sitting waiting for us. Let's see if we can see. I wonder if we'll be able to see the Kadee actually working. Initially probably going into a free shunt position like it is. We're off the magnet, lift off, pick up, we've got it. And these 6 wagons is pretty much the limit that a little Ruston can move, but it'll take the 4 quite easily. We'll soon have cleared the point blades. In fact, when the last axle of a van gets onto the crossing, I can change the point. So there we are. Now then, that's wagon B, and by a bit of luck the second wagon is already A. So we'll drift back off again. And there you see we had a little bit of a hang up. Sometimes you do have to have a couple of little nibbles. Now the next wagon we've got to pick up is G, which is the beige one on the middle siding. It will get there eventually. We're not rushing it. So we've got wagon G. We should now separate from wagon G. So this will be wagons B, A and G in place. I'm not quite sure how many combinations of 5 out of 9 you can get, but there's a huge number of combinations that you can have to work your way through, and some work out quite easy, others can be a pain, but so far we're going okay. Now the next wagon that we want on is the wire, so we're going to have to park wagon C. We do have space on the front siding for one more wagon, so that can be parked away. Here we come. And don't let anybody tell you that little locomotives like this are unreliable. You have to have the track work suitable for them. It needs to be well laid track work, live frog points, preferably with bonded switch rails, and with that you can run these little beauties all day without stalling, even at speeds like this. So I think it's probably one of the best little locomotives Hornby have ever made, but I am biased because I like small locomotives. I've done the multi-board layout and the 50 wagon trains, and believe me, the amount you've got to take to an exhibition for something like that, you need a van, and it's hard work. Something like this is much easier to cope with. So we can drop that on the end of there. Right, all we've got to come back for now is the empty wagon, which is the first one on the middle siding. And then the exercise will be complete. Change point. And that's the empty wagon that we want. This again should be a fairly straightforward pickup. Should go into a free shunt mode. No, it didn't this time. So probably the low temperature in my shed today. No heating. You see, we get a little hang up there. Now what I find here, an interesting thing, and I think it's to do with motion of backwards and forwards. Sometimes if you take the pair of wagons down and let them settle down into a straight run instead of pushing backwards, you can get a cleaner separation. But oh, we did get a separation. So effectively what we've achieved is BAG wire and empty, and we're now just going to come back with the empty. So push off the magnet and just leave that there. Exercise completed. BAG wire load and empty. Now park the little Loco underneath the bridge. If it's raining, then the driver won't get wet when he gets out. With a shunting puzzle you can put another one on the top now, and the next puzzle to work is that one.